Thank you, Mike. We will now hear from a man who's known Mike from the minute he was born. And in speaking with family and friends over the last few days, it really should not be any surprise to anyone why Mike grew into the man that he was. It's an honor and privilege for me to introduce to you Mike's father, Tom Katherman.
I guess my biggest fear is to take all these papers and have dropped them, so I'm going to try my best not to do that. Good morning. Thank you for being here. My wife, Diane, and I are the proud parents of 2 sons in uniform. Nate serves our country in the U.S. Navy, and Mike served our city with the San Jose Police Department. Our freedom and safety is secured because of men and women who answer the call to serve, protect, and defend. Our family is profoundly aware of the sacrifice, dedication, and commitment required to follow that calling and to put on that uniform. Mike loved putting on that uniform, and he loved those who served with him. We are here today to celebrate Michael and to make a promise together. I am sure for those who know him, you would agree he is a hero. I want to share some things about our son and our journey to this spot here today. First and foremost, Michael is a Christian. He was led to make a decision to follow Christ by his older brother, Nate. Nate led Mike to the Lord in the back of our camper van. Mike was 3 years old. Nate was 5. April and Mike made it a priority to pass their faith in Christ to their sons, Josh and Jason. This alone is a pinnacle, a zenith that is replete with overwhelming joy and satisfaction. You have no idea what that legacy means to his mother, Diana, and I. If Mike had not accomplished one other thing in his life, this would be enough. So the rest of what made Michael who Michael is to us, and to those of you who knew him, it's just ice cream. Funny that I mention ice cream. According to several confidential informants and a myriad of witness statements, Michael knows where every Baskin-Robbins and frozen yogurt shop is located within a 100-mile radius of San Jose. So why does Michael love ice cream so much, you ask? Well, I guess we have no place further to look than to his mother. She made this a tradition. On the coldest, rainiest days after school, they would stop for ice cream. No, Mom, it's too cold. Shut up, we're stopping. Mike enjoyed baseball, basketball, fishing, martial arts, and of course, riding motorcycles. He loved taking long rides on the most punishing tracks, with April, Josh, and Jason struggling to keep up. Fishing with Mike was a lot of fun because it was all about the experience, even if he didn't catch a fish, which was rare, but he loved to just keep on casting and waiting. Mike is a huge baseball fan, and he and April and the boys are hooked on the Giants, as you saw probably in the pictures. Mike has helped coach several of the boys' Little League ball teams, and their skills are really progressing. In fact, watching Mike work with the boys on hitting and pitching and catching was just fun. Josh's team came in second place this year in Gilroy Little League's AAA division, AA? AA, thank you. He started playing basketball in the 6th grade, and from that point on, he was hooked on the sport. While playing point guard for, he eventually saw his dream of playing college basketball come true. While playing point guard for Simpson College, he went on a missions trip to China to play local teams and put on basketball clinics for kids. They had many opportunities to share their faith. This type of mentoring is something that Mike enjoyed, and he was good at it. Both his boys have picked up his love of the game of basketball, and Diane and I have had the joy to watch Mike actually coach their team on upward basketball in Gilroy. You know, look, if you guys have young kids and you have a chance to get your kids into upward basketball, you will not regret that experience. Mike has continued playing weekly with officers who also love to play. And one year, Mike actually played on the Police Olympics. That was an awesome thing to watch. Recently, you may have seen an article in the Mercury News how the Warriors organization, after hearing that Mike was a lifelong Warriors fan, stepped up and gave April 4 tickets to attend Game 7 of the NBA Finals. April, Josh, Jason, and dear old Grandpa are so amazed and astonished, and we're jumping for joy. What a wonderful gesture. We will never forget that experience, even though you didn't win. Thank you. Mike's whole family are avid off-road motorcycle riders. They are always loading up the bikes and heading off to various off-road parks, to camp and ride. Mike loves to ride, and his abilities both on and off-road were amazing to watch. By the way, if you ever get a chance to watch the San Jose Motors team run through their cone patterns at the San Jose airport, you will be amazed. Watching Mike, April, Josh, and Jason ride together and share their stories around a fire pit, Mike liked fire, and eat Mike's campfire berry cobbler. Man, these were good times. Michael had many hobbies. He was a good musician. He played guitar, he played drums, and he would even record tracks, you know, like the rhythm guitar track, the lead guitar track, keyboard tracks, drum tracks, and several voice tracks. Yes, Michael could sing. I bet you did not know that. He was even in the Valley Christian Jazz Band in junior high. You may have seen some of those pictures. One time they marched in a parade in downtown Los Gatos. You know, I think he did it because he liked the tall hats. Mike liked working with his hands, just like his brother Nate. If Mike did not know how to fix something, he would not let that stop him. He would find a YouTube video and then get all the tools, spare parts, and whatever it was that was broken so that he could fix it. He loved his tools, and he even taught himself how to use a welder. Melting solid metal using electricity is really cool. I have to tell you a very funny story. One summer, while he was working for a drywall contractor, Mike was met by his mom after work, and she was barely able to park the car because she was laughing so hard. Mike had had his first spray day at the house project. Every part of Mike was covered with drywall mud. He looked like the abominable snowman, and it was all dry, so he was kind of like walking, and it was just hysterical. His eyelashes looked like he had applied 6 layers of white mascara. He pulled down the mirrored visor in the car, and staring at his powdery white complexion, Mike said, "I know for sure today that my decision to go to college is the right one." Just before Mike graduated from Simpson College with a BA degree in business administration, which is the same degree that I got at San Jose State University, he called us and told us that he wanted to become a police officer. We were thrilled and scared, or was it scared and thrilled? But we wholeheartedly embraced his journey toward a career in law enforcement. He started his journey by working in retail loss prevention at Macy's at Eastridge. Thank you, Gavin. One day, Mike was introduced to an Iraqi war veteran and, at that time, a San Jose police officer, Frank Keffer. Officer Keffer was instrumental in cementing Mike's desire to get on with San Jose. Thank you, Frank. I love you, man. After some hiring freezes and a few other delays, Mike was hired to start the academy in July of 2005. At that same time, under the leadership of two San Jose police chaplains, Chaplain Dave Bridgen and Chaplain Jim Becknell, Diana and I started what was called the Friends and Family Academy. April also joined us as well. Our academy included several experiences that Mike had been experiencing in that same week, so we would just kind of mirror what they were doing. So one day, we were all at the Force Option Simulator, which is used as part of the constant follow-on training in which all officers are required to partake. April and I were put into video situations where we needed to choose to draw our weapon and fire on a threatening suspect. This training event had a profound effect on me. April outshot me 2-1. I was so embarrassed. Upon graduation, Mike went into FTO, field training, and while I could not be in the car with him yet, I shared many of his experiences as I had proudly purchased a police scanner and began to listen regularly. One night, Diana is awakened by the sound of voices. They were muffled and she began to become frightened as she was sure there were intruders in our home. "We need to get up. Tom, I think someone's broken into our home." "What did you say, dear?" She was hearing the voices on the earpiece to the scanner. Needless to say, the scanner has been banned from the bedroom. Finally, after his 10-month oral, I got to go on some ride-alongs to see Mike up close and watch him interact with his fellow officers and with the public. It was amazing. Such professionalism. He had a command presence that was exceptional. Like most of you, his favorite radio traffic to send was to key the mic and say 1-10-15, which is to say one in custody. One of the calls we went on, this is one of the first ride-alongs, the call comes over the radio and we just looked at each other. A wild turkey was attacking children while they were riding their bicycles. Now, this sounds like something a dog might do. You know, a dog might chase after you. But a wild turkey? So we go 9-7, we get out of the car and meet the RP. Mike introduces himself and asks what happened. Are your kids okay? You know, where's the turkey? And we're starting to get the answers from him. You know, everyone is okay, they're just scared. And then the RP points to his side yard just in front of their gate. This turkey was enormous. It must have weighed 30 pounds. He called immediately for an animal control officer to come and take care of it. So while we were waiting, slowly, because they were stuck in traffic coming from Gilroy, I think, but slowly over the next several minutes, officer after officer came driving up because they wanted to see the turkey, because this is not a call you get every day. So this a lot of curiosity, and it was really spreading amongst the patrol officers. I was standing next to the RP, who was the father of one of the children who was pecked by this immense bird. I will never forget this. The homeowner was becoming increasingly impressed with the PD response, as by this time there were at least 6 or 7 patrol cars on scene. He says to me, do they normally call out this many officers to a scene? And just then, Air 2 flew over. I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, sure, this is the San Jose PD. They spare no resource to make the public safe. Mike and I laughed all the way back to the car. Oh, and the turkey? It was delicious. I am constantly impressed. Oh, wait a minute. I think I went too soon, sorry. So in his career with the San Jose PD, Mike has amassed a small library of commendations, and Chief Garcia, thank you for sharing those. This is where ordinary citizens who took the time to write a letter to the PD, which, by the way, if you've ever had a San Jose police officer or a firefighter or someone come to your house, an EMT, get out a pen, get out some paper, get out your computer, write a letter. You have no idea how much it touches them. So ordinary citizens can do this, or they can come from within the ranks of the PD, written by supervisors or command staff. We were invited to attend a special dinner where Mike and other members of Team 64, welcome to the suck, where they were given the Outstanding Police Duty Award. I have seen many of the letters written, and I wanted you to all hear what was said about Team 64 by their then Sergeant and now Lieutenant Paul Joseph. Paul said, "I am constantly impressed and proud of the hard work that these officers do day in and day out. They truly go beyond the call of duty to serve their community. Without their dogged determination and persistent efforts to identify and apprehend these suspects, there is no telling how many more innocent community members would have become victims of this group of hardened gang members. I believe the efforts of the officers of Patrol Team 64 should be recognized with this well-deserved and aptly named award." Paul, thank you for your dedication to the city of San Jose. He always spoke so highly of you and of your leadership. And to the members of Team 64, Desi, Christine, Lee, Clayton, Mike, Derek, Jean, and Steve, thank you for your dedication to the city of San Jose and to my son, Mike. Mike really loved his job. He loved all of you. So let's talk about this for a minute. Here's what I think made you all love Mike so much. Truth be told, Mike was a passionate person. His passion for God, his passion for his family, his passion for sports, his passion to be a servant to help others, and all along the way to make people laugh and smile. This passion is translated into every area of his life. April and the boys, all in. Basketball, all in. Riding motorcycles, all in. Music, all in. His passion for protecting and defending the citizens of San Jose, totally all in. If you knew Mike, you would agree, hands down. Diane and I want to say a few words to those of you who are with San Jose. Our entire family has been embraced and welcomed into the San Jose PD family. That happened in 2005. And now, after 11 years, at this time of grief and loss, you are right here for us. Thank you. What a testimony to the character and love that you have for each other. And you are so gracious to extend that to all of Mike's family today. We know that Mike's passing is a shocking and stunning event. It's a blow to all of us, and he will be sorely missed. We will get through this, but only if we do it together. As I look out over this remarkable sea of blue, those who stood shoulder to shoulder with our son, you trained and sacrificed to keep our streets safe. We are so grateful. We are awestruck by the outpouring of support, tender care for our daughter-in-law and her 2 boys. Words cannot express how sincerely grateful Diana and I are for the work of Anthony, Derek, and Morgan, who have walked through every detail with us. It is impossible to name all of the captains, lieutenants, sergeants, and officers that have been sitting on our house to watch over us. Thank you to all of those on the command staff and all the officers, dispatchers, police wives, those on the Keith Kelly board and on the chaplain's board. And finally, to his motors team and to Academy Class 9. You are an awe-inspiring, amazing group of people. Thank you for wrapping your arms around us. Now for the promise. If you promise to never forget Michael and the passion he exhibited for police work and the love and dedication to family and friends and community, then will you please stand to your feet? So promised, so be it. Please be seated.